In this video I'm in the beautiful historic city of York, taking some photographs of some of the buildings I can see around and well, actually in the city itself. Join me, roll titles. Hi YouTube, Brian James at Micro Four Thirds Guy with you once again, and in this video I'm in the beautiful historic city of York. I mean, we're going to be going around seeing some of the most fabulous buildings that have ever been created. I'm going to be taking my Olympus EM1 Mark I and my 12 to 60 Lumix lens. I've also got my little 100 to 300 Lumix as well, so if there's anything I can use that on, then we'll give it a go. But we're going to have a wander around the city, see what we can see, and maybe take some photographs. Join me. You know, York's one of those fabulous places that it doesn't matter where you look around, there's always something of incredible interest. It's a university town, it's got unbelievable churches, unbelievable architecture, beautiful river going through the centre. I think it's a River Ouse. Shows how good my geography is. And just a really pleasant atmosphere. We're lucky because the temperature is quite nice today. I was in Lincoln yesterday. In fact, I had actually intended to do a video yesterday featuring my sister, because I went down to meet my sis in the beautiful city of Lincoln. Again, another historic city. But the weather was just so atrocious there that I didn't get the chance to do it. I might do a short with some of the stills that I took. But generally it was a very, very poor day and just impossible to do anything interesting video wise. But being typical British weather, or English weather certainly, it's changed today and we've got a lovely bright day and lovely still. There's not much breeze in the air, but just enough breeze to keep it comfortable. And it's just one of those lovely days to go into the city and have a look. So we're going to get towards the city centre now. We're going to see if I can find the fantastic York Minster, but it's such a big place. I don't know if I'll get round to York Minster easily, and I don't know what will save it, but I'll certainly show you some of the architecture as we go. Now again, as I say, I've got the EM1 Mark I and my trusty 12 to 60 Lumix lens with me, and a lot of the shots I'm going to take today, I'm just going to leave it on aperture priority. I've got it on auto ISO. It's easy, it's a nice easy way to take photographs, and they give you good shots, they give you good results. I tend to put my aperture around about f5.6 to f6.3 because it gets almost everything nicely in focus. I'm not going for silly shallow bokeh. I have brought along a 25mm Olympus f1.8 lens as well, because I think if we're going into any of the indoor places, I may need something with a little bit of a faster aperture to be able to get enough light in, but we'll see what happens on that. Now what I love about places like York is the way that you get this mixture between the classical and the modern. You know, you've got buildings like this bridge parapet building there, which of course is used for a modern business, but in a beautiful building like that, which is part of the city and remains essential to the city's character. Well, as I'm walking up here, coming up this little street, rather busy street, in front of me I'm met by this wonderful sight of one of the most historic and influential religious buildings in the UK. This is York Minster, straight ahead, a beautiful building. And the centrepiece to York. York's a very religious town, huge religious background to it, and of course in English Civil War terms, religion's been at the core of what's happened between the kings and queens over history. Very fitting on this, following this coronation weekend, that I'm coming to somewhere so historic. No, I really must stop and just scan my camera across. This is York Minster. This is unbelievably beautiful. Seen a fire a few years ago, which was quite devastating, but it's been rebuilt. I think it was in the 80s that the fire happened. I remember seeing it on TV, and it was devastating at the time. But this beautiful building has been restored to its previous glory. and really stands as a wonderful centrepiece in York as to something quite magnificent and quite interesting in its own right. Again, as I say, this magnificent building, it just dominates the city in its beautiful, beautiful construction, and the intricate detail of it is something to behold. As you look up the walls, it's just pure detail from top to bottom, or bottom to top if you're scanning this way. And of course the wonderful windows, which on the outside don't look very much. When you get inside, they are beautiful stained glass windows depicting religious scenes which have been there for hundreds and hundreds of years. So even just beside York Minster, you've got this fabulous site. This is St Michael's Belfry, and we're just going to go up to the doorway and have a little look and see what we can see. I don't know if we can take cameras in. If we can, then great. I'm just going to swing around. Here's the Belfry. There is the Minster. It's a side-on view of the Minster. Isn't that just incredibly beautiful? Now, I do find using my 12 to 60 just an ideal lens around somewhere like here. It's not too big, it's not too heavy. The optics on it are superb. It's not the fastest lens because it only goes to f3.5 to f5.6, so especially at the telephoto lens size, it's a little bit on the slow side. But you can get most things. If you take a good prime along with you, then you're sorted. Thank you. Well, that was fascinating. The busker's using a thing called a hand pan, which I've never seen before. The one he's got is about 25 years old. It's a really sweet, mellow version sound of a... sounds like an oil drum, but a lot more mellow and sweet. I took a quick video of his details. If you're interested, I believe he's got some albums for sale, but I'm not sponsored by him. I just want to listen to that. I just like to hear what I heard. So if you do fancy looking them up, I'm sure he'd appreciate you getting onto his social media and checking out his music, because it was really impressive. Now, as I say, we're fresh from coronation weekend for the coronation of King Charles III, and some places haven't seemed to be taking it up with the gusto, but York certainly does. Some of these arrangements which have been put around the shops and outside, here's the ivy, and it's just beautiful. What a wonderful little entranceway to be decorated with the red roses and the crown with its royal purple in the centre. Absolutely fascinating to watch. This is in St Helens Square, by the way, in York. Well, I hope you're enjoying this little trip around York this afternoon. I'm going to get round a tenth of the city, if even that much, which is a shame because there's just so much to see. If you have enjoyed this video, if you're enjoying it, please give me a thumbs up. It really does help the channel, giving a like at the bottom, and also don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're not a subscriber. If not, why not? It's free, you might as well subscribe. And if you can hit the notification button and tick the all box, you'll get notifications every time I post a new video. Now, I'd also like to say a big thank you to my patrons, who's a list here of patrons on the channel. They really keep the channel going. And if you'd like to become a patron of the channel, or if you'd like to just leave me a single payment, hello, for a cup of coffee, getting a nice wave there from a lady. If you'd like to leave me just a single one-off payment to help the channel going for a cup of coffee, you'll find links in the description below. Let's carry on looking around York. Now, if you're not a patron of the channel, you're watching this on YouTube, it's really good to see you. But if you are a patron of the channel, you'll see that this is a longer version on Patreon. So if you're on the Patreon member, join up the Patreon. There's 3 different levels. If you're a level 2 or a level 3 member of Patreon on my channel, then you get to see the longer version videos exclusively to you, and also get to see some of my videos up to about a fortnight ahead of the YouTube viewers. So this one's going to be a long version on Patreon and a shorter one on YouTube. So if you want to see the long version, sign up to Patreon below. Well, I hope you're enjoying this different series of travel videos that I'm doing. I'm trying to branch out into different areas, as I've said in the past, but still have photography at the heart of it. So I'll still be taking my cameras along, still telling you what I'm doing to get my photographs and how I'm enjoying taking the photographs. But I'm getting out and using the camera because, as I've said many times before, photography should be fun, and being out in the day like today and seeing some of these sites really is fun, and it's a fun way to to take images. So I hope you're enjoying them. If you are enjoying them, leave a comment below. If you're not enjoying them, leave a comment below. I'd love to know what your views are. But I'm going to do a few more shots. There'll be a whole load of stills from today's shoot at the end of this video, by the way, so keep watching for them. And there's another church. I'm going to spin the camera around once again because this is just fabulous. Every turn I take, there is just something worth seeing in New York. This is just beautiful, and it's all this wonderful sandstone architecture. It's just absolutely beautiful. Each one has got so much intricate detail, and it's just knocking me out. The trouble is, I'm going to have to come back 4 or 5 times more just to see everything that I've missed the first time. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up from York. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, my name is Brian James. If not, then check out one of my other videos. You might like that more, but whatever you do, keep on taking your camera out, keep on enjoying your photography, and keep on having fun with your photography. See ya. Bye bye.